Hey friends, welcome to this brand new video dedicated to Garten of Banban 8. Today I have a lot of super fresh information for you and I promise you don't want to miss it. In this video we're going to talk about what the very first minutes of gameplay will be like in the new chapter, based on the latest official information released by the developers and on some clues that have been making us talk a lot in the last few days. I'll walk you through step by step what we can expect when we start playing, which will be the first areas we'll explore and how they will directly connect to the events of the previous chapter, creating a perfect and suspense-filled transition. But that's not all. I'll also show you a new message from FARIS, who revealed a few more details about the game's development and what we can expect in the upcoming updates. On top of that, there are other very interesting new pieces of information that hadn't been leaked yet, and today we're going to discover them together, piece by piece, to build an increasingly clear picture of what awaits us in Garten of Banban 8. But before we start, I remind you to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video so you won't miss any of the upcoming content. Here, you'll always find news, theories, trailer breakdowns and much more. So if you love this game and want to stay updated on every single detail, you're in the right place. Ready? Then let's dive right in and analyze in detail everything we know about the first minutes of Garten of Banban 8. In this new part, I want to start from one of the most interesting pieces of information revealed in the latest video from the Euphoric Brothers, which is the release date announcement video for Chapter 8. We have already analyzed that video together in the past frame by frame, but there is a detail that, in my opinion, deserves special attention because it could reveal much more than it seems at first glance. I'm talking about the Flambeau family mural. In the video, we can see that the mural is located on a wall of the prison. In the previous chapters, this recurring element was always placed in the first parts of the game, almost as if it were a signature opening for the chapter, a sign that introduces us to the new environment. Now, if we follow this logic, the fact that in Chapter 8 the mural is located inside the prison is quite a clear clue. The prison will be one of the first areas we visit. We're not talking about a secondary area or a quick pass-through. It really seems like the game will take us there right from the start. And this is not just a random theory. In past videos, we had already speculated that the prison could play a central role in the early stages of the chapter, but now we have official confirmation. The developers deliberately showed this scene to make us understand that the prison will not just be a background, but an integral part of the game's narrative structure. And when you think about it, the choice makes perfect sense. The prison is a place full of atmosphere and tension, and starting the game there could immediately create that sense of claustrophobia and mystery. But be careful, because this is only half the story. In the next part, I'll explain why the prison will not only be one of the first areas we visit, but also the central heart of the entire gameplay experience. What I've found out makes this theory even more intriguing and, if confirmed, will completely change the way we look at the structure of Chapter 8. Now let's get to the heart of it and see why the prison will not only be one of the first areas but also a central and crucial part of the game. And we will find this out precisely thanks to the presence of the Flambeau family. As we well know, starting from Chapter 4, the family mural has never been placed in secondary or marginal areas. On the contrary, it has always appeared in crucial zones of the map, what we can call the beating heart of the chapter, both narratively and in terms of gameplay. Let's do a quick recap to understand better. In Chapter 4, for example, the family mural was located inside the kingdom, one of the most important and scenic locations of the entire chapter. Not only was it a central area on the map, but also a key point in the story where decisive events took place. Then, moving to Chapter 6, we found the mural in the sector where there was the door to take the Queen's scepter. Again, we are talking about an area that was not only important from a design perspective, but also crucial for game progression. And finally, in Chapter 7, the mural appeared right in the city, an area full of details, missions and connections with several other zones. Once again, a location that could not in any way be defined as secondary. And now we get to Chapter 8. In this case, we already know that the mural is located inside the prison. Following the logic of previous chapters, this is a pretty clear sign. The prison will not just be an initial passing point, but very likely the central area around which much of the chapter will revolve. This means that during the adventure, we might return to the prison several times, perhaps to unlock new sections, discover hidden clues, or face important story sequences. It could be a place that connects multiple zones, acting as both a narrative and gameplay hub. In short, the presence of the Flambeau family in this location is no random detail. The prison is destined to become a key point of Chapter 8. Another very important reason why the prison will be a central and fundamental area in Chapter 8 can be found by observing an element that often goes unnoticed, but is actually very significant. If you have played the previous episodes, you surely noticed that in the main menu there is always a wall with the family mural. This detail is not random. In fact, it has become a sort of trademark of the series. Each chapter opens with this mural, which serves as a background and immediately immerses us in the atmosphere and theme of the game. Now, thinking specifically about Chapter 8, we know that the Flambeau family mural was clearly shown on a wall inside the prison. This is why we can almost certainly deduce that the main menu of Chapter 8 will also be set inside the prison, or at least in an adjacent area. This brings another very important confirmation. The prison will not only be one of the first places we visit in the game, as we already hypothesized, nor just the central area as we saw in the previous part, but it will also be the location chosen for the very first entry door to the game, meaning the main menu itself. This means that as soon as we start Chapter 8, we will find ourselves immersed in a prison atmosphere, with all the creepy details and claustrophobic vibes that come with it even before we really start playing. It will be as if the prison welcomes us and immediately immerses us in its dark world, giving us a preview of the style and emotions that will accompany us throughout the chapter. In short, the prison will not be just any background, but literally the beating heart of Chapter 8. We will see it in all its facets, as a gameplay area, as a narrative center, and even as the gateway through the main menu. All this makes the new chapter even more interesting and awaited, because it shows us how carefully studied down to the smallest detail the game structure is, and how the prison plays a key role in the story they will tell us. A few hours ago, FARIS wrote a message on Discord that really deserves to be mentioned. The message was posted to celebrate a very important anniversary. Today, Chapter 4 turns exactly 2 years old since its official release. A significant milestone that makes us look back and reflect on how much the series has grown and evolved over these years. But we know that is not only the anniversary of Chapter 4. In fact, on the very same day that Chapter 4 was released, the developers also published the Steam pages for Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. Now, while Chapter 6 was officially released towards the end of 2023, Chapter 5 remains somewhat of a mystery for the community. On the Steam page for Chapter 5, the first official screenshots are already present, but to this day, not even a teaser trailer or a release date has been published. This leaves many fans hanging because Chapter 5 has been awaited for 2 years now, and people keep asking how it will be, what new things it will bring, and especially how it will fit into the overall timeline of the series. The fact that Chapter 5 is still so hidden and unclear, while the other chapters have been released or officially announced, fuels many theories and speculations. Some think the developers are working on something very different or innovative, while others fear the project might be delayed or under revision. In any case, this message from FARIS, besides celebrating the past with the anniversary of Chapter 4, makes us look with curiosity and attention to the future, reminding us that the Garten of Banban saga is still full of mysteries to uncover and surprises to discover. So, while we enjoy the wait for Chapter 8 and its news, let's always keep an eye on what will happen with Chapter 5, which remains one of the most intriguing enigmas of this series. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. You are amazing. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.